Alright, what's up everyone? Hope y'all are doing great. Welcome back to the channel. Yeah, this is my in the bag. I've got my first tournament tomorrow. This is what it is. It's my first ever pro tournament. And I'm pretty excited for it. My game's not feeling the best, but it's pretty good. So coming off the off season, didn't have a ton of chances to putt, but putting's still fine. Yeah, form's still good. So yeah, let's do this thing. Alrighty, so first off, what we have today, I'm gonna go from putters to approaches to mid-ranges and just kind of up the scale. Yeah, let's do it. Alright, so first things first, got the putting putters. I use CT Lunas. These things are absolutely money. They're not super overstable, not understable. They're kind of straight and then have a little bit of fade. Really consistent, accurate. This is my third set of CT Lunas. So yeah, I like them a lot. Next up, for my only backhand throwing putter, I would call it a putter. I don't know what it is. I think it's either a Logic or a Sensei. It's from a Discmania mystery box. It's got a cool like jelly bean rainbow stamp type stamp. And this thing is, you throw a little bit of hyzer, flips up and drifts just right. It's such a good flight. I've been struggling lately to find a good throwing putter, and whatever this is, it's great. All right, and then a really fun one is the Berg. It is a 1101. For me, it kind of flies like that, but not really. I think I'd call it more of a 2-2-2-1-0-1. For me, it's very straight, turns over just a little bit, but then always has just a little bit of fade back, but it never wants to dump right or dump left. So it's really fun for sidearms. I don't really throw it backhand. I wouldn't call these throwing putters, but they are my approach discs. I have a Razor Claw 1. This was my dad's. I lost mine a while ago, and I was going through my bag or through some of my discs, and I was like, "Oh, Dad, I wonder if I could throw this." So I asked him. He said, "Yeah, for sure." And this thing is money. You throw it really straight and a little hyzer, and it's where it goes. Wherever you put it at, it's pretty overstable, so it has some nice and hyzer to hyzer shots. And then I have this Crystal Flex Zone. I believe this is from 2020 Ledgestone edition. It's really bendy, feels really good, especially when it's warm outside, and it handles any torque. I put this thing in as much power as possible. It comes out a little wobbly, but man, it's perfect for me. Other zones and discs would be turning over for me, but this thing is a dream to throw. The Razor Claw is generally only for backhand. Zone is only for sidearm, most of the time. We'll go to just kind of like the special-ish discs. First is a really old Night Strike 1. It's got Luke Humphreys, Ricky Wysocki, and Nate Perkins signature. I've had this thing in the bag for like a year and a half, if not close to 2 years. It was in the bag when I went down to Texas for NADGT championships. Love this disc. It's just becoming a little too flippy. I can release it like this and it flips up and over. Today I threw it on a little bit of hyzer and it turned into a roller. And so it's a little too flippy for my liking. And then next, of course, you got the tilt, just beefcake, I only use it really for skip shots or some fun shots that just don't really want to go right a ton or left a ton. They just kind of stay. And spike hyzers straight in the ground. So yeah, really only a forehand disc. It's a little too overstable for backhand because you can't really quite get the angle for me. All right, for the mid ranges, I have got 3 mid ranges. 2 of them are the same mold, and then the other one's a little different. So we'll go from most understable to most overstable. So you got this really cool Buzz. I got this one. Where was it? It was at the Junior World Championships. This thing is money. I throw a little bit of hyzer, stands up, just goes straight, maybe a little right, But yeah, I had my first ever ace with a buzz, with this buzz, up in Ludington on one of the courses there. And yeah, it's overall just a really money disc. All right, next is a MD4. This is an older one. This is one of the first MD4s I ever owned. It was lying around and I picked it up and I was like, you know what, this always feels good, so why not throw it? And so I used to have the Simon Lizotte logo here when I first got it, and then I wiped it a couple weeks into having it, and then I had someone dye my old logo into it, and it's kind of like me facing off against Simon. So yeah, it's a really fun disc, really fun to throw. Feels really good when it's warm out. Here in Michigan, it hasn't been the friendliest, and tomorrow's tournament is not supposed to be the friendliest, but it's all right. So yeah, and he's really straight with a little bit of hyzer. Next is Crescent Falcon 1, another MD4. This one, my brother pulled this out of his collection with a Crescent Falcon 2, and so he's got a Huck stamp one with the same white stamp, just a Crescent Falcon 2, and so we've got matching MD4s. I'll throw this one pretty flat, it'll go pretty straight, and then start hyzering. It never wants to dump, it never wants to turn over. It's just really good into some headwinds. All right, next is the fairway pile. I don't have too many. I really love my fairways, and I guess I could consider these three right here some fairways as well, but these are primarily fairways. So we'll go least understable, or like understable to overstable. So first off, we got the cookie. I dyed the Simon Lizotte dye onto here. It used to be this yellow color, and then I put the red on. This thing is a dream to throw. It's really fun, especially for sidearms, just kind of straight, and then a little bit of hyzer. But for backhand, you put on a little bit of anhyzer, it just holds, and then slowly comes out. It's a money disc. It used to be kind of overstable. Now it's a pretty straight to little hyzer shot. Next is a Glow FT3 I've had in the bag for a long time. I have my own signature and then Andrew Marweed's signature on here. It's like any Firebird, any of the Nate Sexton Firebirds. This one has been money. It's been in the bag for close to 2.5 years, I'd say now, maybe 2 years. And it's money. It's very straight with a little bit of anhyzer, and then comes out and it's a little nice skip. Primarily only sidearm. This next one's a newer one in the bag. It looks like the same disc. It's a Firebird, just a color glow, or just a glow Firebird. Flies pretty much exactly the same, just a little bit more overstable, so it's just a newer version of that FD3. Primarily sidearm as well. Next is the Doombird 4. This is a newer one as it just came out a couple weeks ago. I got it in the mail and I threw it. I'm like, yep, this thing is making the bag. It's extremely overstable. It's almost like this next disc, just not as overstable. Really only for backhand. Don't throw it on sidearm. I'll throw it like this and I'll flex out all the way, just for kind of some fun shots. And then next is the Splice, Meta Splice. Very overstable. Sidearm is fun with it because you can skip it. Doesn't go as much right as the tilt, but still good. And then backhand, you put on anhyzer and it flexes out. So just kind of like a utility disc, but fun for like tombstones. All right, and these are kind of what I'd consider fairway as well, but kind of not. We'll go from understable here. So you got a CD3. Yes, it is nicknamed Banana. This used to be my dad's, and then I started throwing it and I was like, you know what, this feels pretty good. It's kind of like that Nice Strike 1. I'll put it a little bit like this. It'll flip up and over. Not as understable as that, but it's like a further FD, which is really good for me. And then next you got a Dark Maul 2. This used to be my brother's, and then now he's letting me throw it. Very straight with a little bit of stability at the end. It's like a further Glow FD3 for me. Very straight, just overall a workhorse. And then next is a Discraft Annex, or Onyx, however you may want to say it. Very overstable. From all the Annexes or Onyxes I've thrown, they've gone pretty straight with a little bit of hyzer at the end. This one is beefcake. I'll throw it like this and he'll come out of it kind of quickly. He's really fun for some headwind and overall just like a further Doombird 4 or FD3. So yeah. Bruh. All right, next we'll go to overstable. Guys, I've got a couple. These are PD2s, or a PD2 and then 3 forces. All these are very fun to throw and very easy to throw. So first one is a PD2, a Skyrider, an old Simon Lazat series from I want to say either last year or 2 years ago. I can't remember. When it's warm out, feels very good, very gummy, and man, this thing goes pretty straight with a little bit of hyzer. It's really fun to bomb, and with some tailwinds, man, this thing goes far. Only backhand. And then we'll go to this guy. This guy is an antipresonal force. Kind of like the same, just a little bit more stability. I use him for sidearm as well. Feels really good and is another big bomber. Next, I have a 5-time. This was actually a 5-time force signed by Paul Macbeth. This was actually the first ever Discraft disc I ever owned. It feels really good. He is really fun to throw. As you can kind of see, he's kind of flat. He used to have a little bit of dome, but now he's pretty flat. And man, when it's summertime, I cannot wait to bust this thing out and throw it a mile. He's overstable, but with tailwind and some anhyzer, or just straight into the headwind, man, he's a workhorse and feels great, both sidearm and backhand. And the next is this really sweet, really butterscotch force. Extremely overstable. I don't know if you can tell, but it's board flat. It's pretty much like a Discraft flick. It's kind of like the Splice, just a more overstable force, kind of like a Splice. And man, I don't really throw it on backhand too much. I do sometimes, but sidearm primarily. Extremely overstable. Numbers on a force are 12503. I'd probably consider this a 12504. Very overstable and super fun to throw, especially into some headwinds. All right, the next are my personal favorite discs in my bag. Well, not my personal favorite, but some of them are. So I'll start out with more flippy. This is my roller disc. It is a Glow Grim. I put this thing in the bag about a little over a year ago for some rollers, and I was like, you know what? Well, I tried air shotting it first, and it was just a little too flippy. I was like, hey, you know what? It'd be a good roller. I throw it like this, turns over, cut rolls left, back right, and it's a bomber of a roller. Super fun to throw. Never really throw besides the rollers. Next, we got the Cloudbreaker 1, the OG. This thing bombs. It goes far. I'll throw him like this. He flips up and over and just cruises, man. He's a dream for backhand and a dream for sidearm as well. This thing's money. I've had it in the bag for a couple years now, and he's been everywhere with me. It's going to be a shame to lose him. It's going to be a hard day when I do lose him. Hopefully I don't. I'm not trying to jinx anything. But yeah, he's probably one of my favorite discs in my bag for sure. And the next and most understability is a Cloudbreaker. Not a Cloudbreaker 1, but this is the Cloudbreaker disc. This is a newer release from Discmania. It's flippy, really flippy. I've only had this thing in the bag for a couple rounds now, and he's almost getting as flippy as that, if not more. I'll throw him like this and he'll flip up and over. He's a big bomber. More, I'd say probably for sidearms. I don't know if I love him, but I think when the summer hits, man, my bag could change. I love gummy plastic and the warm weather. It's my favorite time of year. And the next is another DD3. It's this thing's money. I don't know how else to describe it. Another kind of flippy. I'll throw him like that. He'll flip up, over, and then just carry. Man, this thing is really fun to throw. I really enjoy throwing him. He's super simple. Doesn't require a ton of power for me to throw him, and he gets about 400 to 500 feet, anywhere in there, just depending on how hard I throw him. So yeah, I don't really throw him on sidearm. He doesn't feel the best for sidearm, so primarily backhand. Then last but not least is a Calvin Heimberg destroyer. I believe this is a 2021 destroyer. I could be wrong, but I believe so. In this halo plastic, he's overstable, but the more I beat him in, the more he is straighter to little hyzer. Like the other day, I was throwing him, threw him a little bit of anhyzer. He kind of just held, then tombstoned. So he's still pretty overstable, but when this thing is beat in and becomes one of my max distance drivers, you better watch out. This thing's gonna be money. Never sidearm, only backhand. And yeah, that's it. That's all that is in my bag. I guess I'll kind of go through what else is in my bag. So I got an Andrew Marweed cookie. Oh shoot, I feel really bad. Like the mitten bags. Yeah, this is a mitten bag. Hey, I got it. A good grip, not right now for the winter time, but good grip for the summertime when it's gummy and sweaty, and all that stuff. So yeah, really fun. And then and really good, really useful. Next, I got a little retriever guy here. This is just the little one that goes up to like 10 feet or something like that. I don't need too much to get stuff, and so yeah, it's a pretty useful little hook. Just kind of sweep it up. So yeah. And then I got my towel back here. Generally, I have it either hanging over here, but the other day I was just tired of having my towel drug through the mud. Drugged? No, driven? Dragged. Dragged through the mud, and so I put it back here, kind of where my back is, so that way it wouldn't get muddy. Let's see, I got a mini over here, and I should have 2 minis over here. Yep. Oh, nice. So I got an NADGT mini right here, and then a Heritage Disc Aim Small, Miss Small mini. Just kind of, I don't really know why I have it. We found it on the course one day, and I really like the saying on it, and so I was like, you know what? Yeah. And so that's primarily the mini I use. And I have a Trash Panda Mini. This one is a 9,346. Yeah, it's just kind of a fun thing. I got it last year at D-Glow. Don't do it. Let's see. I mean, you know, I got this thing right here. The Touch Twins. This is where I hold my phone and any trash if I don't have my phone or something. And then I got 2 lanyards, 1 Discraft one because I throw a lot of Discraft, not a ton, but a good amount. And then 1 Pack Strong. I got this. I go to Portage Northern High School here in Portage, Michigan, and yeah, it's kind of a fun thing to have in the bag. And then I got a little Ace card. So one of the little local leagues I'm in, it's a whole bunch of guys playing, and right now I'm currently sitting at the top, and so I have the Ace card, and that's the highest you can go. And then I have a little grip series. I don't know if you can kind of see that. I can get a closer picture, but it's like an older bag. I have an older bag upstairs, an old was it like a BX3 or BX2 or something like that, and it came with a little thing. I think this is, I don't know quite, but I think it stands for like batch 2, number 6,249. Just kind of like a fun little thing to have. And then I got my rangefinder, some sunglasses, and then some extra towels. So yeah, I like the AX4. Holds a lot of discs, and yeah, it's a good bag. Yeah, got the double grip EQ patches. So yeah, well, that's all that's in my bag. I'm sponsored by Team Great Lake Discs, or I'm sponsored by Great Lake Discs. Check them out. If you want 10% off on checkout, use code 154877. That is my PDGA number, so you can look it up at any time. Gives you 10% off, and it also helps me at the end of the season. So I would really appreciate that. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy, and we'll see you later. Peace.